So anyway, moving from the photophilous communities, we pass to dim light communities, communities thriving in places where the light is low. We don't have complete darkness, but we just have low light. So what happens in these communities, again, is that some plants dominate. Again, plants, but this time plants that photosynthesize not with chlorophyll, but with more sensitive phytopigments. These are called coralline algae. They are forming these impressive layers, and they are creating a spectacular complexity, again, three-dimensional complexity that can host many living organisms. So again, this is a typical Mediterranean habitat. It occurs only in the Mediterranean. It's called the Coralligenous, and it's also an emblematic seascape. Now, where this habitat occurs, and there is also a combination of strong currents, we have also a 3D development of animals this time. So we have, again, marine forests, but this time marine animal forests. So what you see here is gorgonians, it's corals, soft corals, that create, again, this three-dimensional complexity that provides shelter to animals and biodiversity. Again here, gorgonians, and here, sponges, which can also be very, very complex in shape. So the Coralligenous habitat is a very diverse habitat. It's also a very productive habitat. This is the habitat that is sought after by artisanal fishermen when they are targeting expensive fish like groupers or a lobster, let's say. So they really put pressure on this habitat. Whenever we encounter this habitat in the Mediterranean, it's usually covered with entangled abandoned nets, which shows that there is a continuous intense pressure there for fish. So this habitat is very sensitive, and apart from the pressure from the fisheries, it's also sensitive to climate change, other human pressures, and of course, again, introduced species. And the last typical Mediterranean habitat that I would like to show you is the Mediterranean, the marine caves. So the northern coast of the Mediterranean, I don't know if you can see here the little blue dots, is full of caves. Up to now, there are 3,000 marine caves known, not necessarily explored. So marine caves have a particular zonation pattern. In the entrance, the assemblages are similar to the Coralligenous that I showed you previously. But in the middle of the cave, where we are getting to more dark conditions, we have a particularly characteristic community of sponges. We have many species competing for space. So in a single square meter, we can have like 20 species, different species competing on the same surface. So it's very biodiversity rich. And as we move to the end of the cave, to the more dark conditions, we have these biogenic formations by serpulid worms. And apart from the biogenic formation, we also have bacterial formations in caves because of the influxes of fresh water that contain high abundances of certain chemicals that can encourage bacterial growth. And of course, again, the Mediterranean caves are home for endangered organisms, such as the monk seal again, or the precious Mediterranean red coral, Corallium rubrum.